Hello, folks. This is Travis of Elliston Equine Solutions down here in the beautiful Arizona, more specifically the Clopton Cow Company. And we have a great video for you today. And what the topic is going to be is how do you clean a wild rag that's specifically made out of silk? So that's what today's topic is going to be. There's first way I could think of, you got something dirty. I know I'm wearing a wild rag. This is a dirty wild rag. It's got a lot of dirt on it. And I wore this up in Wyoming during an elk hunt and doing a pack train, hauling out elk and so forth, but it got very, very dirty. So we're going to talk about 3 ways you clean a dirty wild rag, especially made out of silk. The first way, which is the way I normally do it, is I get back, and because it's very delicate material, I normally want to turn it into dry cleaning services. That's probably the best way you can ever get it done. If you don't have a dry cleaning services near you because you live very rural, well, then the next thing is you could possibly do is put in a wash machine. Okay, but I would caution you on this. When you're washing your clothes, some machines that you're around, whether bunkhouse or on ranch or so forth, doesn't have a delicate setting. Okay, but it is one way you can use it with laundry detergent that's developed for a gentle cycle of your wash machine. So I just figured I'd bring that up. The way I like to clean, which is the third method, is just hand washing. Okay, hand washing. You got specific detergent out there over in Europe, different parts of other countries and nations. You'll have a version of type that's specifically made for silk. In the United States, there's a lot of detergents out there that are designed for silk. For today's example, we're going to use Woolride's Delicates, and specifically how we're going to do it is we're going to wash it by hand. Okay, and that's what we're going to do today. Some of the materials you're going to need, is some type of detergent. If you can't, and I'll bring this up too, if you cannot find a detergent for wool or silk, baby detergent will work just as great in a pinch. Okay, so some other materials you're going to need. You're going to need your little detergent here. You're going to need a bucket with some nice regular water inside of it. And you're going to need another pot that's full of water to help do your rinse cycle for cleaning your silk or wild rag. All right. And then you're going to need a towel. And we're going to show you specifically how to use a towel with wild rag. And then you're going to use a wooden dowel. Or in this case today, we're just going to lay it on top of a bench to make sure it dries out. All right. So this is how we're going to do it. All right, folks, so step number 1, you're going to get a nice little container, and you're going to put water in, as you can see here. Then you're going to grab some type of detergent you have. This one I just picked up at the local Walmart. Like I said, you can get off different detergents off Amazon, Target, whatever. And you don't need to empty this whole jug in there. All I'm going to do is going to drop a couple drops inside of here. That's it. That's all I need. There's 1 drop. 2 drops, okay? I'm going to take the detergent, put it off to the side, and then all you're going to do is take your arm, and if you think like a washing machine when you're doing this, that's exactly the step you're going to go into. So I just added detergent. I'm going to put my hand in here, and I'm just going to agitate it. Remember, this is cold water. It's not hot water. It's just nice cold water. And I'm getting the nice suds going inside here. I'm just stirring with my hand. Because remember, we're just hand washing here. Okay. Once I get to that position, I'm going to grab my wild rag, my dirty one. And I'm just going to stick it right inside. And I am going to submerge it down into the water. And that's all I'm going to do for the first step. Now I'm going to grab my wristwatch. I'm going to look, and I am going for 3 minutes, let it sit right down inside of that bucket of water. For 3 minutes, folks. So while we're doing that, I'm just going to enjoy the beautiful Arizona sunset's about ready to happen, and the nice desert scenery. and just let it soak for 3 minutes. All right, folks, so we just waited 3 minutes, and 3 minutes expired, so now we're going to move on to step number 2. Now, when we do move on to step number 2, remember, silk is very, very delicate, so we're not going to grab a stick and agitate the water and then the clothing and tear up the wild rag. These things are kind of expensive, you know, when they're made out of silk. So that's why it's called hand washing. So step number 2 is you're going to reach in with your bare hand, and what you're going to do is just pick it up and plunge it back in. And basically what you're doing is mimicking the same motion a washing machine will be making. And you can see I got suds in here. And I'm just going to plunge it up and down. Grab a different part of it, plunge it up and down. So I'm grabbing different parts of the material, and this is all I'm doing. Very tedious, but very important in the process of cleaning a wild rag. And you could do this not only silk, but cotton, whatever material you have, and just hand wash it. Just once again, remember, silk is very, very delicate. And you can see I'm getting suds on it, nice and neat. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I feel like it's getting clean. So this is a judgment call. You have ownership on this, on making sure that is getting clean. I've seen a lot of suds developing here, which is telling me we're doing this correctly. And while I'm picking it up, I'm looking for any brown areas on here to see if it's coming off. And when I had the tails of this earlier, it was very, very brown. But I could tell you right now, just by looking at it, it is getting pretty darn clean. Oh yeah, we're cooking with Crisco now. Okay, so this is a corner that was very, very dirty. And I can see the water's changing. And I can see a little bit of brown there. And I'm just going to keep going. Plunging it up and down, letting it drop. Plunge it up and down, let it drop. So remember, this is step number 2. Getting your wild rag clean. So be presentable when you go out for your dance with your loved one, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever you are, whoever danced on Friday night down there at a local dance club, just a swinging and dancing. You got a nice clean wild rag. Not just for work, but out in public. Oh yeah, that's coming out nicely. Oh, we're getting her done. We are getting her done. Oh yeah. And that's apostrophe ER, getting her done. There we go. Oh, I'm liking this. The only thing I'm missing is the radio on, listening to some Ian Tyson music or some Barry Ward playing in the background. Maybe I should have done that before I started this process. I don't know, but that's something to think about. Heck, back in the old days, I'd be watching TV and wait for a commercial, and I started agitating this because there wasn't nothing else to do during commercial. And you don't want to ruin a good episode of Gunsmoke or Rawhide while you're doing this, I can tell you that. Now everybody's thinking, well, you're way old. Well, yeah, my grandparents used to love watching that stuff. And I grew up watching it, and I still watch it. You can't beat a good episode of Rawhide or Gunsmoke or Paladin or so forth. I'm telling you that much. Okay, once I get it where it's nice and clean now, I feel like it's clean. You can see the water's kind of brownish here. The camera person's going to come up here and take a look. But you see I can't see the bottom of it. That's pretty dirty right there. All the stuff's come out. Now, step number 3 is we're going to do a rinse cycle. So what I'm going to do is hang on to my wild rag. I'm going to take my container here, move it out, and I'm going to bring my coffee pot over, and I have this filled up with water. And if you're in the back country and you got a stream, it's a lot better if you have running water going through this, but you can do the same thing, okay? This is clear water. This is going to be a rinse cycle. Once again, I'm going to plunge the wild rag inside just regular water. And the reason I'm doing this is it lets the soap in that case go through the fabric. In this case, it lets the regular water go through the fabric and rinse out all the soap studs that were inside my clothing. In this case, my wild rag, my nice wild rag. This is one of my favorite ones. It's just plain Jane, it's green. And this is one of my working ones. It's not fancy like the one I'm wearing right now. I take out to a dance floor and look nice and neat, or go to a show, horse show or something like that, where I'm trying to look pretty neat and nice. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this until I don't see any soap suds on the top of my fabric. Once again, I would have, if I'm not doing this case, I'll probably have running water going through it until all the soap suds are done. Now, this is something to pay attention to detail. Notice I'm never wringing it. I'm not running my hands and squeezing the tarnation out of it, because remember, this is very delicate type of material, okay? So I don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin the threads inside of my wild rag, okay? So I feel step 2 is pretty much done. I'm going to do a couple more iterations of getting all the soap out of it. Plunging it up and down, okay? Now what I'm going to do is move on to step number 3, which is preparation to dry. I'm just going to hang on to it and let the water, with the help of gravity, move the water from north to south. Once again, I'm not wringing it out. I'm not choking it out because it's very delicate. We're going to show you next how we do this, okay? I still got a little bit of water dripping out. I'm just waiting my time for the water to drip out to the end of my cloth there. Looks like we got a dung beetle coming to get some water and come for a visit here. Okay, so we're hanging on to this. All right. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Once again, I'm not wringing out the water. All right, next step. What we're going to do is we're going to have a towel. I am going to open up the towel, in this case on the bench. Try not to have any wrinkles in it and so forth. And I'm just going to open up my wild rag the best I can. The wind's blowing that direction, so I'm going to flip sides. And I'm just going to lay it right on my towel. Just like this. And I'm telling you, this is easier than making flapjacks. This is the drying out process of your wild rag. Very delicate material. Okay. Once I'm done with this, all I'm simply going to do is take my towel and I'm just going to start rolling my wild rag up in it. Okay. And I'm not rolling it up tight. I'm just rolling it nice and easy. And what I'm trying to do is get all the moisture out of my wild rags just by rolling it up. Rolling up just like a burrito. And I'm ready to eat here. This excess part I got laying out, all I'm going to do is unroll it, and then I'll push that in there. That way I don't miss it. So obviously you're going to need a bigger towel for a bigger wild rag. Smaller wild rag, you don't need so much towel. Oh, look at that. So you can see the reason I did this. See how this is a lighter green right here from the towel, and this, remember, didn't get placed in the towel. So you can see this is very dark green from the wet water versus right here. So you can see this towel method is really with all this wicking the water right out of the wild rag. So this is pretty neat, folks. This is really neat. This is how you get her done. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take my wild rag, take it back out, take the towel, and you want a flat surface. And I know in this case I'm using this narrow bench here, but that'll be okay. Now I'm going to grab the side that I didn't roll up, put it inside my towel, get as flat as I possibly can. And I can tell you from past experiences, try not to have any brush around you, because I'm telling you what, this stuff starts flapping out and flopping around in the breeze and get caught up in the branch. The next thing you know, you're snagging your wild rag and not doing yourself any favors for cleaning or drying your wild rag out. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, once again, this is caution here. Do not grab a towel and choke it, wrangle it all up and grind it, try and get the water out. Just let the towel just roll up and let the fibers wick out your wild rag. Dry it out. Remember, this is a very delicate type of material, which is silk. Okay, we're going to unroll it again. And I might do that 3 or 4 times, okay? Or I might, in this case, just do it 2 times. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take my wild rag, and most time I have a wooden dowel, and I'll just take it on top of the dowel and let nature take its course, which is nice wind, okay? In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my nice material, and I'm just going to take it and drape it around this log right here on this bench. And I'm going to let air do what it does best, Mother Nature. I'm just going to let the heat, the temperature, the wind, the breeze go ahead and finish the rest of it and let it dry out, okay? Now, I don't want my wild rag in direct sunlight. You'll notice it's kind of shaded out, but I got enough where this is going to dry out by the natural Mother Nature blowing her sweet breath on it, okay? So this is how I like to clean a wild rag. This is the steps I use by hand to clean out a wild rag. Remember, there's 3 steps. Number 1, you can send off dry cleaners, and yes, I do that. Let the professionals do it. The second method is you just drop it in the washing machine if you have a delicate setting and you have the nice gentle type of detergent you put in it. I mean, it's doable. I don't do it that way. And the third way, and the method I like the best, if I'm not going to go into dry cleaning, is I just do hand washing, okay? And this is steps I take it. So I hope you like this video. Please hit like, and please hit subscribe on this channel if you like this material and all the other stuff that we have. Once again, this was a question that was brought to me, which I love from the public and from all the people that watch my channel. This is a question they presented to me. How do you wash a wild rag? So here you are, folks, and I hope it answers that question there. And I really hope that you're doing fine in your living room or your bedroom or wherever you're at watching this channel. Other than that, I appreciate you watching. Take care. Until next time. Now you have knowledge for solution. Adios.